Xin chào các bạn, chào mừng các bạn đã đến phần chữa bài tập cái đề thi ngày 22 tháng 12 năm 2024 cho phần đề thi IELTS Writing. Đề thi như sau. Task 1. The diagram shows how small and large Venus flytrap species handle small prey to optimize their user digestive enzymes. Summarize the information by citing and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Process. Đây là một dạng diagram. Đấy, nó về một loài thực vật rất đặc biệt, đúng không? Small trap và large trap, đúng không? Bẫy nhỏ và bẫy to. Dễ xem nhé. Và task 2. Shops should not be allowed to sell any food or drink that has been scientifically proved to be bad for people's health. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Chúng ta có phần hint như sau. Task 1 ở Introduction Key Points. Chúng ta sẽ là brief description of the diagram. Main focus handling small prey to optimize digestive enzymes. Diagram Venus flytrap small prey digestive enzymes. Key structure. The diagram illustrates how small and large Venus flytrap species. Template. The diagram illustrates. Overview key points. Summarize the overall process. Highlight similarities and differences. Keywords: overall process, similarities, differences. Optimize digestive enzymes. Key structure. Overall, it is obvious that both small and large Venus flytraps, starting with, ending with, however, larger traps. Template. Overall, it is obvious that starting with and ending with, however. Body paragraph 1. Key points. Describe the structure of the Venus flytrap. Explain the initial mechanism of capturing prey. Keyword: structure, leaves, traps, hinge parts, trigger hairs, snapshot, enclosed prey. Key structure: looking first at the diagram most closely. The plant's leaves have involved into traps, consisting of two hinge parts. Along the edges are. Inside the trap there are one small prey, such as ants or touch. Looking first at the diagram most closely, one can see that. Body paragraph 2. Key points. Describe the digestion process. Explain how larger traps handle small prey differently. Keywords: digestion process, enzymes, absorb nutrients, small prey, large trap, conserve enzyme. Key structure, as can be demonstrated by this diagram. Once the trap closes, the plants release enzymes. However, when small prey enter a large trap, they may only contact a few trigger hairs. This allows the plant to recognize. As can be demonstrated by this diagram, it is apparent that. Chúng ta sẽ viết theo cái cấu trúc trên và các cái key point keywords. Các bạn viết theo như vậy và chúng ta sẽ có một bài như sau. Và đây là một bài mẫu trình độ 8.0. Sample essay. The diagram illustrates how small and large Venus flytrap species handle small prey to optimize their use of digestive enzymes. Overall, it is obvious that both small and large Venus flytraps follow a similar process to capture and digest prey, starting with the stimulation of trigger hairs and ending with nutrient absorption. However, larger traps optimize their use of digestive enzymes by excluding small prey. Looking first at the diagram more closely, one can see that the plant's leaves have involved into traps consisting of two hinge parts that can snapshot. Along the edge are long hair-like structures resembling spiny teeth. Inside the trap, there are several trigger hairs. When small prey, such as ants, just these trigger hairs, the trap snaps shut quickly, and the outer teeth interlock to enclose the prey. As can be demonstrated by this diagram, it is apparent that once the trap closes, the plant releases enzymes to digest the prey and absorb nutrients. However, once small prey enter a large trap, they may only contact a few trigger hairs. This allows the plant to recognize the prey as small and let it escape, thereby conserving digestive enzymes for larger targets. Ở phần số 2 là phần task 2. Chúng ta sẽ nhận định đây là dạng agree or disagree. Và chúng ta có một cái phần template là bài mẫu in recent years chủ đề has become a broad issue to the general public. Some people believe that quan điểm. In my opinion, I partly agree with this idea. Discussed below are several reasons in favor of my perspectives. First and foremost, people should recognize that quan điểm. A very important point to consider is that lý do một. This means that giải thích một. To illustrate this point, I would like to mention that ví dụ một. Another point I would like to make is that lý do hai. This because of the fact that giải thích hai. For example, ví dụ hai. On the other hand, there are several arguments against the statement that quan điểm. In fact, people have this opinion because lý do không đồng ý một. This means that giải thích. This can be shown by the example that ví dụ. In conclusion, the above mentioned facts have created a dilemma when people evaluate the impact of this issue, and this is still a controversial issue. As far as I concerned, it could have both positive and negative impacts. People should have further consideration on the issue. Với một bài là 250 từ thì mình đã có sẵn hơn 100 từ đã viết sẵn. Các bạn chỉ việc lắp ghép các ý tưởng của mình vào đã thành một bài từ 7,5 đến 8 chấm. Cái đó còn phụ thuộc cả vào từ vựng của các bạn nữa. Và bây giờ là cách đi vào từng bài một và cách triển khai thành bài hoàn chỉnh. Our introduction key points. Introduce the topic of unhealthy food and drink consumption. State the opinion clearly. Disagree with banning. Keywords: unhealthy food, drinks, scientifically proven, bad for health. Disagree, personal choice. Key structures. In recent years, this year, some people believe that. In my opinion, I disagree with this idea. Key ideas: the importance of personal choice and freedom, the role of government in regulating food and drink. Key phrases: has become a broad issue to the general public. Shops should not be allowed to sell. Scientifically proven to be bad for people's health. I disagree with idea. People bear off one key points. Individuals a right to make their own health decision. Example of backlash against sugary drink bans. Keywords: personal freedom, choice, health decisions, sugary drinks, backlash, government overreach. Key structures. First and foremost, people should recognize that. A very important point to consider is that. This means that. To illustrate this point, I would like to mention that. Key ideas: personal freedom and autonomy. Historical examples of governmental overreach. Key phrases: individuals have the right to make decisions about their own health. Freedom to choose what they eat and drink, infringe upon people's personal freedoms, significant backlash from consumers, business, and politicians. Example of government overreach. Body, paragraph 2, key points: risk of creating a black market. Example of alcohol prohibition leading to black market. Keywords: black markets, banned products, illegal drugs, organized crime, health risks, and alcohol prohibition. Key structure: on the other hand, there are several arguments against the statement that. In fact, people have these opinions because this means that. This can be shown by the example that. Key ideas: unintended consequence of bans, historical example of black markets. Key phrases: risk of creating a black market for banned products, sale of products that are even more harmful, difficult to regulate, distribution of alcohol led to the rise of a black market, illegal production and sale of alcohol, produced in a sanitary conditions and with no quality control. Conclusion. Key points: summarize the main arguments. Restate the opinion, disagree with banning. Keywords: how, implication, personal freedom, democratic society, and black market. this structure. In conclusion, the above-mentioned facts, as far as I am concerned, people should have further consideration on this issue. Okay, yes, balancing health concerns with personal freedoms, the potential for unintended consequences. Key phrases created a dilemma when people evaluate the impact of this issue. Still a controversial issue. There are concerns about the health implications. Banning their sale is not the best solution. Infringing on the personal freedoms of our democratic society led to a proliferation of seedier enterprises. That's you. In recent years, the issue of unhealthy food and drink consumption has become a broad issue to the general public. Some people believe that shops should not be allowed to sell food or drinks that are scientifically proven to be bad for people's health. In my opinion, I disagree with this idea. Discussed below are several reasons in favor of my perspective. First and foremost, people should recognize that individuals have the right to make decisions about their own health. A very important point to consider is that people should have the freedom to choose what they eat and drink, even if it is unhealthy. This means that banning the sale of certain foods and drinks would infringe upon people's personal freedoms and limit their choices. To illustrate this point, I would like to mention that in the past, there were a few cities proposing a ban on the sale of sugary drinks in certain establishments, including restaurants, movie theaters, and sport arenas. However, this proposal faced significant backlash from consumers, businesses, and politicians who argue that it infringed upon people's personal freedoms and was an example of government overreach. On the other hand, there are several arguments against the statement that shops should not be allowed to sell unhealthy food and drinks. In fact, people have these opinions because when bans are imposed, there's a risk of creating a black market for banned products. This means that a black market could lead to the sale of products that are even more harmful and would be difficult to regulate. This can be shown by this example that in the early 20th century, the prohibition of alcohol led to the rise of black markets, with illegal production and sale of alcohol becoming a significant problem. This led to the consumption of more dangerous and harmful alcohol products as they were often produced in unsanitary conditions and with no quality control. In conclusion, the above-mentioned facts have created a dilemma when people evaluate the impact of this issue, and this is still a controversial issue as far as I am concerned. While there are valid concerns about the health implications of consuming certain foods and drinks, banning their sale is not the best solution. This would infringe on the personal freedoms of our democratic society and lead to a proliferation of seedier enterprises. People should have further consideration on this issue. Và đến đây là phần hướng dẫn cho các bạn cách giải đề, cách lên cả brainstorming là cách lên ý tưởng, cách triển khai đề và đưa ra các key points để các bạn viết vào một bài 8.0 đã xong. Và hy vọng rằng các bạn sẽ follow thật là kỹ và các bạn sẽ viết bài thật là tốt. Chúc các bạn thành công.